Jai Swaminarayan. Let's read the 44th passage from the second Gadhadā. It's titled, The Characteristics of Godly and Demonic People. Let's dive right into it. On Posh Sadi the 8th, Samvat 1880, or the 9th of January 1824, Swami Sri Sahajanandji Maharaj was sitting on the veranda outside the east-facing rooms of Dada Khachar's Darbar in Gadhadā. He was dressed entirely in white clothes. At that time, an assembly of munis as well as devotees from various places had gathered before him. Thereupon Sriji Maharaj asked Muktanand Swami, when a person perceives a flaw in a devotee, does that person perceive the same amount of flaws in that devotee as they had noticed previously? Or do they perceive more flaws? Muktanand Swami replied, apparently they perceive the same amount of flaws as they previously perceived. Sriji Maharaj then said, you have missed the point of the question. If they perceive exactly the same amount of flaws, then how can you say that they have perceived a flaw? In actual fact, it is due to the influence of adverse places, times, actions, company, etc., that their intellect becomes spoiled, and that is why they perceive more flaws. In this situation, one should realize that the blemish of adverse circumstances has tainted their intellect. Moreover, I personally feel, if one previously has kept the company of a great person, or has had the darshan, the viewing presence of God, then one will only perceive one's own flaws, but will never perceive flaws in any other devotee of God. A person with such characteristics should be known to be godly. On the other hand, a person who is demonic never perceives even a single flaw within themselves. Instead, they perceive flaws only in other devotees. A person with such an intellect should be known to be demonic. Such a demonic person happens to be in satsang, the fellowship of like-minded spiritual seekers, or if they stay in the mandal of sadhus, in the circle of saints, they will be similar to Kalnemi, Ravan, and Rahu, but they will not be influenced by the company of sadhus. Thus, one who is a staunch devotee of God perceives only their own flaws, but never do they notice the flaws of other devotees. Thank you for listening. This has been the 177th discourse from Sriji Maharaj in the Vachanāmrut. Jai Swaminarayan.